Hey guys, Introspection here, and I'm back with another video. So, today I'm going to make a more philosophical video. I want to discuss how oftentimes we'll look at lessons in things like children's books or movies, and disregard them simply because we think they're made for just that, children, and therefore they have no value to the average adult. But I would disagree with that. I think that they're put into children's movies and TV shows and books because they're meant to be followed from the beginning of childhood to the end, not just at childhood. So, what am I talking about? I'm talking about things like teamwork and friendship. Yay! Now, of course, when you heard that, other than thinking that that was extremely high-pitched, you also probably thought, man, that's extremely corny, or that was extremely cheesy. And you're right, they are extremely corny and extremely cheesy. There is no disagreeing with that from me. But that doesn't make them wrong. We teach our children these kind of things because things like friendship and teamwork, and amongst other morals that we often teach our children, because they should be followed in adulthood. And we shouldn't look at the fact that there are in children's movies and TV shows as an excuse not to follow them. Like, we often look at these kind of things and think to ourselves, oh, that's children's stuff, or that's kiddie stuff, that doesn't apply to me, when it applies to you more than anything else, because adults, or people right before adults, are more so in the real world. It now becomes more prevalent than ever that you need to keep these morals in mind. So, let me give you an example. Let's take teamwork! Now, in a kid's cartoon or book, you probably see the main character go, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? Robert, please pick up the red block. Oh, you're such a great friend. Now, okay, yes, you're not going to be picking up comically large blocks to put into giant cutouts for some reason in real life. Most likely anyways. But that doesn't mean that the concept of teamwork isn't still applied. Let me put it to you this way. Let's take, I don't know, basketball. Do you really think that anybody would be able to win any of those games, like one on the entire rest of the team by themselves or separately, or without working in conjunction? Probably not. I'm willing to put money on it. Like, I am not into sports, but I already know that if you put one guy against an entire team of both being professionals, chances are the whole other team will win. Even if you think that this particular person is one of the best players in the entire sport, they're probably going to lose to the entirety of another professional team. It's just not going to work out. Or, let's say, you know what? Look at YouTube itself. I'm not talking about the individual creators. I'm talking about the actual platform. Do you think that this huge platform, what you're watching it on right now, what you're watching me on right now, could have been created without a bunch of people, an entire company worth of people, as a matter of fact, coming together and working together to create this giant this giant media platform that we all use today? I mean, even myself making these videos, granted, I am by myself making the videos, but I'm using programs, and I'm using non-copyrighted pictures, non-copyrighted music, all that had to be made by other different people, and a lot of these individual things had to be made by groups of people working together. Some of the programs I used were likely made by several people working together. Fact of the matter is, teamwork, as cheesy as it sounds, is highly needed. And the better you know that, and the more teamwork capability that you as an individual have, the better you will be able to work with your team. The better you're able to work with your team, the more accomplished you'll be able to be. Now, obviously, there are other things to be considered, like other people not being part of the team, but you get the point. Teamwork, as I have just demonstrated, is an extremely important concept. And this is not the only thing that should be considered from children's shows. Let's take another one. Let's say patience. Oh, that's a big one. We really need patience nowadays. Let's be honest with ourselves here. Given how often we get frustrated or impatient, maybe it's frustration over something legitimate, like trying to get work done and not being able to because you're not provided the proper resources, or maybe it's something ridiculous, like you sitting there waiting for 30 seconds for this video to load. Patience is extremely important in today's lives. In fact, one argument that I would make is patience is required to make the most out of every second in this short life. And it's an extremely important concept that you can find in these children's books and TV shows, but we disregard it. And if I point out to you that I find it in this children's book, you're going to think to yourself, oh, it's a children's book that has no value for me. In fact, it probably isn't a bad idea for us to revisit them. I mean, no, obviously, the majority of us are probably not going to be entertained by any of these books, so I'm not really asking you to go back and reread all these books for the sake of rereading them. I mean, you can if you want to, but you don't have to. But what you do need to do is keep the morals of these individual books. Because even though whether you're a child or an adult, or especially if you're an adult, a lot of the morals found in these books, or TV shows, or movies, whatever, will still apply to you. As much as you want to make it an excuse to not listen to them simply because they are for children. They are for children because they are meant to be held into adulthood. And that's something I think we should keep in mind the next time a 3-year-old decides to give us advice. Well guys, that's it for this video. Make sure to leave a comment down below about your favorite advice that you got out of a children's book, or maybe you just wanted to tell me how great your day was. All good things to leave down below. Make sure that you leave a like and hit that subscribe button so you can catch me in the next 2 weeks, as well as that bell button. And until then, hear nothing and listen to all. Bye guys!